What's up, Cowboys Nation? Welcome back to the channel where we break down all the biggest news, trades, and rumors surrounding America's team. And let me tell you, today's story is a seismic one. It's the kind of breaking news that has the entire NFL world buzzing. Yes, Jerry Jones has done it again. Just when you think things are settling down in the off-season, the Cowboys front office flips the script and suddenly the league is talking. Right now, we're looking at a possible scenario that could see the Cowboys making massive moves involving some of the biggest names in football: Nick Chubb, Asante Samuel Jr. and yes, even a potential Stephon Gilmore return. Rumors are swirling, insiders are dropping cryptic hints, and social media is going absolutely wild with speculation. So let's dive into what's going on behind the scenes and why this could be one of the most pivotal off-seasons in recent Cowboys history. So here's the scoop. We all know Jerry Jones is a man who doesn't like sitting on his hands during the off-season. He's a risk-taker, a deal-maker, and above all, a guy who wants to bring another Super Bowl back to Dallas before riding off into the sunset. And he knows the clock is ticking. The Cowboys have a roster that's talented but underperforming when it counts the most, especially in the playoffs. Last season's early exit left a bitter taste, and fans were calling for changes. Well, Jerry seems to have listened. Reports are indicating that the Cowboys are actively exploring trade options and free agency pickups that could significantly shift the balance in the NFC East. Let's start with Nick Chubb. Yes, that Nick Chubb, the workhorse back from Cleveland who, when healthy, is one of the most powerful and efficient running backs in the league. Now, Chubb is coming off a significant knee injury, which raises some concerns. But there's no denying the impact he could have on a team like Dallas, who, let's be honest, struggled to establish any sort of dominant run game last season. Tony Pollard never quite became the bell cow back fans hoped for after Ezekiel Elliott's departure, and the running back room just didn't have the depth or the explosiveness needed to control the game on the ground. Insert Nick Chubb into that mix, and suddenly the Cowboys' offense becomes a lot more dynamic and balanced. Now, the trade rumors involving Chubb are heating up. One proposal floating around suggests Dallas could acquire Chubb in exchange for a third-round and sixth-round pick in the 2025 draft. On paper, that's a steal if Chubb returns to even 80% of his peak form. That's top 10 running back production, easy. He brings toughness, vision, and experience, and let's not forget, he's also been a quiet leader in Cleveland's locker room. But it's a gamble, no doubt. The knee injury he suffered was serious, and giving up draft capital for a veteran running back, especially one recovering from surgery, is always a high-risk, high-reward move. Still, with the Cowboys' offensive line playing at a high level and Dak Prescott looking to rebound from another up-and-down postseason, giving him a dependable back like Chubb could be the piece that ties it all together. And Jerry knows that if you want to make a real run at a title, you have to take some risks. This would be a classic bold Cowboys move: go big or go home. But it doesn't stop there. The defense, which has been the strength of this team over the past 2 seasons, is also under the microscope. After losing a few key players in free agency and dealing with injuries, especially the devastating loss of Trevon Diggs early last year, there's a real sense that the Cowboys need to reinforce their secondary if they want to keep pace with the high-octane offenses they'll face in 2025. That's where the names Asante Samuel Jr. and Stephon Gilmore come into play. Starting with Samuel, the young cornerback from the Chargers has flashed enormous potential. He's quick, aggressive, and has shown he can handle man-to-man coverage against top-tier receivers. His football IQ is off the charts, no surprise there, considering his father was an elite corner in his own right and he plays with a chip on his shoulder. While the Chargers aren't actively shopping him, the Cowboys have been known to keep tabs on rising stars, especially ones who might fit their scheme and price range. Samuel could slot in perfectly alongside Diggs, giving the Cowboys a youthful, hungry cornerback duo that could shut down passing attacks and force turnovers. And then there's Stephon Gilmore, the veteran who played with the Cowboys just 2 seasons ago. After his short stint with the team, he left a lasting impression. He may be getting up there in age, but Gilmore still has elite ball skills, excellent positioning, and a calm, calculated approach that makes him a valuable asset, especially as a mentor for the younger DBs. Recently, rumors picked up after Gilmore was seen visiting the Cowboys facility. No one from the front office has confirmed anything yet, but insiders say the Cowboys are strongly considering bringing him back on a one-year deal. Think about it, a secondary with Gilmore's experience, Diggs' playmaking, and possibly Samuel's explosiveness? That's a nightmare for opposing quarterbacks. And let's not forget Darren Bland, who emerged last season as a legitimate star. Putting Gilmore back in that locker room wouldn't just improve the talent, it would raise the football IQ and bring in a leader who's been to the top and knows how to prepare for deep playoff runs. Now, here's what makes all of this even more interesting. The Cowboys currently hold the number 12 overall pick in the upcoming NFL draft. While they could sit tight and pick a top-tier prospect, word around the league is that Jerry Jones might be shopping that pick in an effort to acquire a proven veteran or potentially trade back and accumulate more picks for flexibility. This opens the door for all kinds of moves. Could the number 12 pick be part of a larger trade package that lands them a player like Chubb or Samuel? Could they use it to move up for a blue-chip offensive lineman or defensive tackle? Or will they surprise everyone and draft a skill position player, despite already having talent at wide receiver and quarterback? The possibilities are endless, and with Jerry pulling the strings, nothing is off the table. And we also have to talk about the broader context. The NFC East is not getting any easier. The Eagles remain a powerhouse, the Commanders are rebuilding with purpose, and even the Giants are making moves to stay competitive. If the Cowboys want to assert dominance and win the division, they have to go all in, because just making the playoffs isn't enough anymore. Fans are tired of the one-and-done narrative. They want rings. They want parades. And Jerry Jones, who's as passionate as ever about this team, wants to deliver. These rumored acquisitions, Chubb, Samuel, Gilmore, aren't just about filling roster spots. They're about building a championship-caliber team with depth, versatility, and attitude. Now, let's talk about what this means for the locker room. Bringing in high-profile names like Chubb or Gilmore means that current players will be watching closely. There's going to be increased competition, but that's a good thing. Iron sharpens iron. A strong, motivated locker room can be the difference between a team that folds under pressure and one that thrives in the playoffs. Mike McCarthy, who's under pressure himself to produce results, will have to manage these personalities, adapt the playbook, and find ways to get the most out of his team. And for Dak Prescott, these potential changes could be career-defining. He's got the weapons. He's got the contract. Now, he might be getting an elite run game and a stronger defense behind him. There are no more excuses, it's time to perform. So, Cowboys Nation, we are standing on the edge of what could be a franchise-altering offseason. These aren't just rumors, they're smoke signals, and where there's smoke, there's usually fire. If Jerry Jones pulls the trigger on these moves, we could be looking at a team that finally breaks through the playoff curse and makes a real run at the Lombardi Trophy. The pieces are starting to come together, and the front office knows they can't waste this window. The NFC is wide open, and with the right additions, the Cowboys could be the team no one wants to face in January. Buckle up, because the next few weeks are going to be wild. Make sure you're subscribed and have notifications turned on, because we'll be covering every trade, every signing, and every draft pick as it happens. This is the year we stop saying maybe next year and start believing in what this team can accomplish. Until next time, stay hyped, stay informed, and as always, go Cowboys.